All right, we're doing our new thing where we're coming on just a couple of minutes before the top of the hour to share our coffee and our thoughts before we actually go live. So, a lot of people seem to really like this yesterday and the day before. One person, two people, I think, are irritated by the countdown. Sorry about that. But I got everybody else seems to really like it, so I think we're going to keep it. So, how is everybody this morning? Getting everything all prepped and ready to go, making sure my volume is set, making sure everything is all gathered. So, wow, everybody's here. Goodness gracious. Joanne is here. Teresa's here. Beth is here. Vicky. Wow, Vicky. Good morning, Vicky. Hey, Jocelyn. You made it up. Didn't sleep in this morning. That's pretty funny. So, let me see. What happened last night? I'm trying to think of the excitement of the day. Well, if you're in my OBS class, I shot, edited, and reshot, actually, edited and uploaded, I think, 8 videos yesterday into the members area. So that was a good thing. From frantic packing. Yeah, when do you're moving out to San Diego, right? Is that coming up soon, or what's going on with that? I think I remember seeing that. Oh, my coffee's cold. And my husband's already left. Moving slow and reflectively. Well, today we're going to talk about decluttering. So this ought to be good for you, Vicky. Golly, when do you move? That's just crazy. Open house. What was the open house for? Oh, just kind of like a what do you call that thing? Holiday gathering. So nice to see you, Beth. Hey, Rose. Linda, great. Your coffee is brewing. Good, good, good. Heather, oh, Heather, you made it live. I'm used to following your comments on the replay. I heard a beep. Oh, that's my coffee pot turning off. Boo, boo. I forgot to get my husband to refill before he left. With the cats and everything. Wow, that's quite the move, is going with the cats. My gosh, he's going out tomorrow. Good morning, Victoria. How are you? Yeah, my daughter, let me see. Oh, that was the excitement of the day. This Nissan. My Dennis texts me like at 2:30, 3 o'clock. I can't get, with the Nissan, it has one of those, it's a push button start, and it has one of those locking columns. Well, the lock mechanism just decided not to recognize the key anymore. So sometimes you can jiggle it and like the little locking mechanism will drop down so that you can start the car and turn the wheel. So yesterday it had had enough. It decided it was time to die. So Dennis was out in the parking lot, like Googling at work, Googling YouTube videos on how to fix this problem. Because you can find anything on YouTube, right? You can find how to do anything on YouTube. So he ended up Googling it and figuring it out. And one of my daughters was down, Darcy, was down visiting some friends down in the Fort Worth area. So she was actually closer. My other daughter, Kiera, was at a friend's house, and Dennis had to go pick her up. And I'm like, I'm not driving an hour down. Darcy's right there. So after hammering on it and banging on it, he finally got, he took the panel off and got these weird little screws off that don't have a head. You have to take a Dremel tool and make a slot in them for a standard I wouldn't do Phillips, but he'd do a standard head. It was just a nightmare. So he actually figured that out. Pam, hey! John Michael is already in the OR. Evie's holding in her room until they take her down to the OR. Prayers for certain. Evie's getting her kidney transplant today, the 29th. Wow. Oh my gosh. So prayers. And I'm so sad. I don't know if you know that, of course, we've been following Pam's daughter's kidney transplant situation, and now Pam is sick. So she can't even be there for her daughter's surgery because of infection issues and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's horrible. So, yeah, we're praying, definitely. Blue Point, New York. Thanks for joining, Melissa. Thank you so much for enjoying the show, too. Jocelyn, you fixed your dryer using Google? Interested, did I just show up in your feed, or how did that work out? Hey, Teresa. Sunny, amazing. You live in a perma-cloud city. That was pretty funny. Oh, Vicky, I did see your note. You're still in Florida until mid-January. Wow, that's rough. Having literally bi-coastal marriage there with your husband already leading the pack out in San Diego. You know what's interesting about the timer? I know now that there's an 8-second delay from when I say something to when you see it because I have the timer on my producer and I have the timer that I can see live. So, where is Blue Point, New York, Melissa? I want to say upstate because it sounds like a kind of a mountainous type Syracuse area. So, hey, Sarah, good morning. Did I tell you yesterday I got your Christmas card? Thank you so much. We do a thing where we pray for each family. We pull out a Christmas card and open it and pray. So we prayed for you guys last night. So it can last a while because we get a lot of Christmas cards, but that's what we do. So yours was last night. Let me see. What else was going on? Still can't get Periscope or Facebook Live. I want to try broadcast. So triple broadcast on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. And it's possible if you pay for this like Decast or something like that, this big program. But if you use Wirecast, you should be able to do it. Well, I've got Wirecast and Facebook, I think their RTMP just like automatically notifies itself if you try to broadcast with somebody else at the same time. And it's just not letting me do it. So I might be doing something wrong because I know other people do it, so I'm not sure. Good morning, Patricia. Trying to declutter for 2 years, working 2 parish office and multiple volunteer. I'm nearly impossible. Indianapolis, yay! I love Indy. I have lots of friends in Indy. You just heard that idea yesterday? Yeah, you'd open the cards and what do you do with them? They go into a basket or they end up going, you just throw them someplace. And I just thought, we've been doing it for years where you pray for a family as opposed to just, I know some people like hang up the cards and that type of thing. So I wanted to honor the fact that people send Christmas cards because I don't. I have never been very good at that. And finally, I just gave up because some years I did it and some years I didn't. So the years that I didn't, which were more often than the years that I did, people would think I was mad at them because I didn't send them a Christmas card. So I just thought after a few years, I went, I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by forgetting them 1 year or not doing it 1 year. Anyway, so that's how it worked out. So we're going to be talking about declutter today. We got 19 seconds on my side and trying to make it on time. I'm going to try to keep the show shorter too, so we'll jump right into content because we do this beforehand. And I changed it. Look what it says now. Show starts in just a bit. All right, so let's get started. All right, we're going to be talking about how to declutter before the new year on this morning's episode of Coffee with Colleen. And it's a idea that I picked up when I was, let me get rid of these. Don't need that anymore. Cruising around the internet because I like a lot of things that deal with minimalism. So And I'm not a true minimalist because I think a true minimalist only has 100 items. And that's like my junk drawer. So I am far away from being a true minimalist, but I love the idea. I love the concept. I love the freedom that comes from not having a lot of stuff because there's a thing that when you see things, it actually causes your brain to jitter. So when you see clutter, your brain will jitter. And some temperaments that are more susceptible to that type of thing more than others will be more impacted, more negatively impacted by clutter than others. So if somebody is super organized, then they see a lot of things. It's very irritating to their brain. And literally, when you see a mess, it causes your brain, whether you realize it or not, it's a subconscious thing, it causes your brain to jitter. So decluttering frees up your mind to make other decisions as well. And there is such a thing called decision fatigue, where your brain will make a certain number of decisions a day and then it's done. So the less decisions that you require your brain to make, the more that frees your brain up to make important decisions, which is why I advocate morning routines, evening routines, menu plans, where you sit down in the week ahead and make the menu plan so that you don't like, what's for dinner? I don't know. What's in the fridge? Just look at the menu plan. I've been doing that for years and years and years. So the less decisions you have to make during the day, the more that frees your brain up to do other fun things. The feed stopped. Anybody else feed stopped? You have many junk drawers. That's pretty funny. Try refreshing. Okay, if the feed stops, she can't hear me. Try refreshing the page, Patricia. Oh, it's back now, she said. Okay, it's back now. Kristen says she can see. Okay. Good morning, Kristen. Decision fatigue. All right. So I heard this idea online. I have to find the link. I'm usually pretty good at that. There's what is that? The Kanamari method, where you hold something and it's like, do I love you? Do I not love you? And you make peace at it and it's gone. And do I love you? Yes, I do. This is Cashmere. Or do I not love you? I couldn't do that. First of all, it took too long, and then there's the fly lady who has you going through the house. And, like once a week you come, please release me, let me go. And you gather things throughout the house. And that didn't work for me. And I have areas that pile up, and that type of thing. So when I read about this method, I thought, okay, I can do this. And it can be either a daily thing or, however you want to do it. You can do like a 21-day challenge and that type of thing. But this, I liked the fact that when I saw this 5 by 5 by 5, it was a number, and I like numbers, and it was a system, and I like systems. Oops, wrong one. So that it was a way to just get started. So I, of course, have a whole program on doing a capsule wardrobe. And you know me, you can tell I don't wear a lot of different clothes. I have a couple of outfits that I wear during the day, and that's it. How many times have you seen this? All the time, because I like it. It's very comfortable. It's reversible. I picked it up at Costco. It's what I wear most of the time. So I do have a couple of uniforms and things that I wear. And when I teach the capsule wardrobe program, one of the first things we do is going through the closet. So I'm not going to get into that, but just as this is kind of a head start on that type of thing. Linda said, yeah, I read the book. The one part that I implemented was to fold t-shirts the way she suggests and stand them in a drawer. Oh, yeah. Pick out the t-shirt you want to wear. Yeah, and I did that for my husband. The Kanamari book is under your pile of stuff, says Kristen. Fly Day didn't work for me. You know what drove me nuts about the fly lady is if I got emails like all day long. Like if I get one more email telling me to clean off my hot spot, I'm going to scream. And I did. So then I quit. So anyway, starting with your clothing. So just go and find 5 items of clothing that don't fit, you don't wear them, they're not who you are anymore, they don't fit your style, personality. It's just something you can run. I'll bet you right now you can run into your closet or open a drawer and find 5 things that you just don't. And so this is like the 5 by 5 by 5. Just 5 things. Yeah, I don't wear lace-up shoes either. Actually, I have lace-up shoes on, but I slip on. I don't tie them. And that comes from having bunion surgery as well. Oh, I'm not putting the Christmassy background up right now. I might do it tomorrow, Maria, because I am shooting a video on how to, for my OBS membership program, the people who do live television and stuff, on how to do a green screen. So I'm going to be setting that up later on today and shooting that video, that how-to video. And so I might just leave it up and have, because I miss my Christmas tree and fireplace. So I might be leaving that up. So go find 5 things, 5 items of clothing that, and not right now, that you don't need. And you can do this like one day a week. It's like 5, 5, 5. There's five categories. And you can say, Mondays, I'm going to go pick out 5 items of clothing. Or Tuesdays, I'm going to do, and of course, setting a reminder on your phone would be a great way to do it. I set reminders on my phone all the time. Don't always do what it reminds me to do, but I always set reminders on my phone. So 5 items of clothing is the first thing. Then go into your kitchen. When's the last time you used the yogurt maker? When's the last time you used, there's probably, I'm a huge kitchen gadget fan, and I cook a lot. So this one was hard for me because there's a lot of things in my kitchen that I use. So finding kitchen items, bread maker, don't use it. I never did. I gave that away within the first week. I make bread from scratch, and I thought it would be easier to use the bread maker, and it's not only is it not easier, I didn't like the taste of I don't know, I just didn't like it. So I got rid of that. Yeah, it does feel great, doesn't it? Chelsea says, I know where everything is in my piles of papers. I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot as well. Well, literally too, but I'm a pilot, Victoria, so I have piles, and I know where everything is in my piles. We'll be getting to that in just a minute. Chelsea said, been reading to do the capsule wardrobe every time I get pregnant. Yeah, every single time. Yeah, it does feel great to get rid of junk, doesn't it? It's stuff. And we suffer from stuffication. Good morning, Patricia. We suffer from stuffication. We have so much stuff. Good morning, Geza. That it suffocates us. So I call it stuffication because it's a bunch of stuff that suffocates. And we just have too much junk. Like I said, I wish I was more of a minimalist, but I'm not. So going into your kitchen, what items do you really use in your kitchen? The things I can't get rid of are things for my grandmother. I don't use them, but they were my grandmother's. I'm not getting rid of them. I went into my pantry. There's a lot of stuff in there that's expired. I didn't realize. I thought I had just done this. So going into the pantry and pick out 5 things. Because for me, I'm such a perfectionist and an idealist that I'm like, okay, I'm going to clean the pantry today. And then I'll pull everything out, and then something distracts me, and then everything's out, and it doesn't get finished. But 5 things, I can do that. I can go look for 5 things that are expired, throw them away, and then I'm done. Then I can walk away. So 9 people in the house, too much stuff. Absolutely. Geza said I saved my parents' items before they passed away, years before I started to give them away. Yeah. Did the pantry last week. I'm in the middle of doing my pantry. So any 5 items within your kitchen. So we have clothing. Go find 5 things, items of clothing. Of course, when I do the capsule wardrobe, I start you with 22 items. And then you have one season of 22 items. And then as we go in the next season, there's things that transfer over. And then we can add a few things in, blah, 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 blah. So don't buy the program. I'm going to put it on sale next week. So going through your clothing, going through the kitchen. Next thing is books. I have a hard time giving books away. I take them to half-price books, or I've donated some to the library because the library has donated to me on occasion that I've paid for because we just found a book. I swear I don't remember checking it out. But anyway, going through books and seeing... There are books. Actually, I did a book burning because there were books that were so bad that I couldn't give them away. They were just, so I burned them. I didn't want to take the chance of even throwing them in the trash. They were so bad. Dickens, I'm not a Dickens fan. Part of the reason is because Charles Dickens wrote for a magazine. So each chapter was like 1 week or 1 month magazine. So there was like these serial stories, and they just drag out. Pip, can't stand it. So going through the books and deciding what are quality books that deserve to be on my shelf, what needs to be burned, and then what can just be given away to half price books or Goodwill or donated to a library. Or I know we got a lot of books because a friend of mine was done homeschooling when I was starting, and she showed up at my house with cases of books and said, you might as well have them. So I got all of these, oh golly, what's that? Is it DK? I can't remember. Yeah, just shelves and shelves and shelves of books. And I have bookshelves all over the house. So this one was easy. When I went and said 5 books, I went and pulled 5 books. And wow, I thought those were good. Some of them got burned. A lot of them just got donated. Take them to half price books. I actually did more than 5. But this was a nice purging of being able to. Good morning, Brenda. Dickens exhausts me. Me too, Jocelyn. Heather says she likes the idea of the fly lady, but tends to crisis clean more than anything. Yeah, 40 bags, yeah. Oops. A lot of comments. My goodness. Not my books. That's so funny. No. Everyone's going, no. Paperback swap. Excellent idea, Sarah. Books. You should see, I have bookshelves. Every room has a bookshelf. Every room. Too painful to give away. Yeah. Rubbermaid containers filled of them. I have some out in the barn. Annalise says, I do love my books, but after I got rid of 2/3 of them with Katamari, I never missed them. Yeah, love the shelf space. Yeah, bad books, you got to burn them. Absolutely. Good books. I'm not saying get rid of good books. Just get rid of books that maybe you've read. Like Rose. Is Rose on this morning? Rose sent me a copy of a book. She'd read it. I started it last night because it's by Jeanette Walls, who wrote the Crystal Castle, which I talked about a couple of days ago. And it's like a no-brainer read, which is perfect for me in bed at night. But she had finished reading it. It was a good book, and she passed it along. Well, I have books. I'm looking at my bookshelf in this room. This is actually my son's room. I have books here that are good books. I'm not going to read them again. I'm not a rereader of books. I read them, and then some I will keep because I want to share with my family or my children or pass down. But there's a lot of things that were good books that I can just share it with somebody else and pass it along. Like she was talking about a paper book exchange. Yeah, okay, you are here, Rose. Moving in March, new house has a library. Oh, I have a library. I should show you. I can't show you. It's not in this room. It's next door. So going through books is the next thing. Okay, here is the bane of my existence. Paper. And I don't mean like, do you do this, make lists on envelopes? This is actually not my envelope because I have a paper on envelope opener. This drives me nuts. I have one of those razor things. This is so like, not organized. And then, yeah, it's got notes and papers on it. So this isn't what I'm talking about. Get rid of this too. But what I'm talking about is going through, did you ever like magazine clip anything? Like recipes was my thing. I have literally a stack that we measured. It's about 9 inches tall of recipes that I've been saving since I was 18. So a long time. I don't need those. I started going through them. Why did I keep this recipe? I remember trying it once. It wasn't even that good. Why did I put it back in the manila envelope? So I have these manila envelopes stuffed with all this paper. That was a real quick day because I'm like, nope. There's so many recipes that I've developed on my own or found better recipes. I'm like, why do I even still have these? So that was kind of part of my kitchen purging, but it was also paper purging. Go through, if you still have paper files, go through your paper filing system. At the end of the year, this is the perfect time because we're doing receipts, right? Because we're getting ready to do our taxes here in the United States. So going through old files, and find, maybe it's like one file that you can totally either put in a box with some mothballs and put out in the barn or the garage or the attic or whatever if you have to keep them for your 7 years. But get them out of your eyesight, get them out of your drawer space. Let me see. 3-ring binders. I have 3-ring binders from homeschooling that either need to be put in a memory box for the children or totally gotten rid of. So any types of paper, but looking for 5 items, just 5 items of paper that you can get rid of, or 5 files, or 5 recipe pieces of paper, or something like that. So boxes and boxes of paper, absolutely. Afraid to get rid of books, Terry said, especially history type books. Yeah, I don't touch those. The library replaces the older books with newer versions of books that aren't really the same. Whoever writes our books writes our histories. Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, good morning, Janet. Didn't see you sneak in here. Listening while at the gym. Golly, God, I'm so impressed. No time like the present. Absolutely. Probably won't be typing comments. No doubt if you're working out. Love my brick wall. Yeah, it's plastic. It's actually a photography backdrop. Why do I tell people these things? I reread all the time. I just don't. But you get rid of them 6 months later. That's amazing, Chelsea. I totally agree with Terry about the history. What am I watching? There's some show that Dennis is watching, and I started watching it with him. Oh, it's called The Colony, and it's on USA, and I saw it on Netflix. So Dennis is watching season 1 on Netflix right now, and season 2, I think, comes out in January. But it's interesting how I think like aliens have come to the planet and walled off. This is about the colony of Los Angeles, where they've totally walled off Los Angeles, and you have to live by the aliens' rules. And they came in and totally decimated the planet in like 8 hours. But they're rewriting all the history books. So if you don't teach, they show the scene where this woman was teaching history in the class, and she referred to this book, and boom, the Red Hats came in and dragged her away. So yeah, I think there's some books I'll never get rid of, and the victors write the history books. So yeah, paper in boxes, paper in high school. You can take pictures of recipe files to store on your computer. I use Evernote, so I type out all my recipes. I get a picture and I put it in Evernote so that I have a digital copy of it. Evernote, there's Joanne. Yeah, I love my Evernote. Old newspapers, wow. You're grounded from buying 3-ring binders, says Chelsea. They're your guilty pleasure. Yeah, I went through some 3-ring binders and went, why do I still have these? Freeing to give away, throw away, burn. We have a burn pile in the back of the property. We have 10 acres, so we have places to go. Folders filled with recipes. Yeah, go through them. Get rid of the duplicates. Yeah, don't get rid of your history books. Just got in from 8:45 Mass this morning. Well, good morning, Rick. Happy you made it. Yeah, Evernote's amazing. You can get the free version. I think I might even still be using the free version. And then I use Web Clipper all the time to clip things. So a great website is Plan to Eat, where you can import your recipes. Wow, that's fantastic. By the way, an alien attack in LA would be an improvement. Or maybe not even noticeable. They make your menu plan and it makes your grocery list. Hey, could you have a link to that, Kristen? That would be amazing if you could share that with everybody. That would be wonderful. And of course, last but not least, everybody has a junk drawer, or some people have, in addition, both, a junk closet. I designed this house that we live in, that we've lived here for 18 years, I think. And for years, every place I lived, I went, I like this about this house, I don't like this. And I would draw it up in a floor plan. We would move to a new place. We moved 11 times in 11 years, the first 11 years of our marriage. So every time we moved into a new apartment or a new home or rented someplace, or we'd go to someone's house, I was always looking at, what do I like about this? What don't I like? I knew I wanted a garage right next to the kitchen because you go grocery shopping all the time. And, so when I built this house, one of the number one things that I missed almost every place I lived was storage. It's like, where do you put your stuff? And I thought, it was, a lot of these places were designed by minimalists because there's no closets, there's no storage spaces, there's these beautiful pedestal sinks in the bathroom. Well, where do you put your cleaning supplies? So every place I lived. So when I designed this house, I designed it with the things that I wanted, and then I took it to an architect and a blueprint designer who moved one door. I mean, that's the only thing he did, is he moved one door, and moved one door. That was it. And said, actually because of your flow and your this and your that, and he said you need this. He said your hallway's too wide. I went, I don't care what a standard hallway is. This is what I want for two reasons. If at some point I have an elderly parent, I want to be able to turn around, be able to have a wide enough hallway where I can manipulate and work and turn into doorways with a wheelchair. And he's like, oh, I never thought about that. So I designed this house. Too many closets. I have so much storage area that is full. I get too much junk. And I have a barn, 2-story barn. I have far too much stuff. So yeah, junk drawers, junk closets. Thank you so much, Kristen, for putting that in there. I love that kind of stuff. I'm going to check that out. Mom's encyclopedia when she was in school. I have my mom's encyclopedias too. I love them. Of course, I love the smell. And then each page is like a photograph. The shiny paper that they used back in the 40s and 50s. Plan to eat. Thank you so much. Junk drawers, the garage, violin shop for a few years. Still need to reclaim that. Yeah. So going through the junk drawer, I have a junk drawer in my bathroom. So I went through and I cleaned out a lot of makeup. I have a junk drawer in the kitchen. I have a junk drawer in my office. My son has a junk drawer in his desk. If you know, I'm using my son's has a gaming computer, and that for live broadcasts and television, it works really well. So he has this little junk drawer here. But I have found that I have junk closets and junk drawers. So when I was first going through this 5x5x5 plan, so 5 items per day for 5 days, right? That you can get rid of. 5 topics, 5 items per topic for 5 days. You can get rid of 125 things. So going through a lot of this junk stuff anyway to get back off there. And then I went through the front hall closet as it was kind of like a junk closet because we really don't use it because in Texas, it holds our winter coats. Well, I'm from the north, so we have a lot of winter coats. And then I lived up there for 2 years after my dad passed away. So I have all this winter stuff. So I was in the front hall closet the other day and went, I have jackets from when the children were little. So why do I still have these? So they're in a bag now in the car to donate them. So that's the other thing that I did with my donate things is that I have a big, I like the 3 mil construction garbage bags. So they're 3 mil thick. So they're really super heavy duty. And, so then I pour a lot of things into that. And so when I go through the house and I find things, you can either go through with a laundry basket or something like that. I just drag the bag behind me and start throwing stuff in. I folded all of them one year and I showed up to Goodwill and she was like, why'd you fold these? So, I don't know. So I go through the house, and then that bag immediately gets put in the back of the car. Now, it may sit in the back of the car for a week or two, but at least it's out of the house, out of my eyesight, and ready to donate. So that's something else that I do too. Makeup expires. Yeah, open the makeup and it smells. Do a morning coffee on helpful tips on house design, additions, and reorg ideas for small space. You know what I love? That whole concept of the tiny house. Yeah, I wouldn't survive, but I like the concept. It's like the minimalism. I like the concept of only owning 100 items. And I remember when I got out of college, when I left college, everything I owned fit in the back of my 1980 Honda Civic. Everything I owned, including a lounge chair. And those were the most freeing times of my life. Now, like I said, we've been in this house for 18 years, and I have so much junk. It's pathetic. Like, why do I have this stuff? So literally, we are getting a dumpster in the spring. Probably not right now, but in the spring, we'll have a dumpster brought up to the front of the house. And right now, we're out in the barn and we're organizing things like, why do we still have this? And, one of the things we did is every time we had a appliance die, we saved it and put it out in the barn. And then for our son's birthday, we invited all of his buddies over, put them out on the driveway with all these appliances, gave them screwdrivers and drill drivers and hammers and that kind of stuff, and said, dismantle to your heart's content. And they spent the afternoon on the driveway dismantling appliances. Well, I think we got in the habit of saving old dead appliances because I went out there the other day looking for a cat and I looked and went, we don't need to be saving these appliances anymore. My youngest is 20. So we need to move on from that. No tiny house, small house. Yeah, but the tiny house movement is a bit much. Yeah, I think it can be. So here's your 5 things. So 5 items per day in these 5 categories for 5 days. So that's the goal, to get rid of 125 things within the next 5 days so that we can launch our new year in a more productive manner. So get rid of 5 items of clothing every day for 5 days, 5 items from your kitchen every day for 5 days, 5 books a day for 5 days, 5 paper items a day for 5 days, and 5 things from your junk drawer or your junk closet. Now, what I did was 25 items of clothing for the first day. Then I went into the kitchen and did 25 things from the kitchen. Then I did 25 books. Now I'm working on paper in the junk drawer. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought too, is this would be a great way to, kick off the new year of decluttering and minimalizing and not getting away from that stuffication. So I hope this helped. I found really simple. It was like a list and go do certain things at certain times and get those things out. And I hope it helps you as well. So now's the time we jump into prayer requests. Of course, top of our list right now is Evie and Pam, and the fact that Evie is going in a half an hour, I think. Pam's probably not still here for her kidney replacement. So she's getting a, what do you call that? A new kidney anyway. And she's been on this donation list for a long time. Oh, you want the slide again? Sorry about that. Let me put that slide up. So yeah, pop in those prayer requests. Screenshot it again. There you go. Oop, Miss Sarah's comment. I guess I really did miss your comment. It's buried. All I saw was possessions. Just went from a 4,000 square foot home to 1,000. Whoa. Had to make a lot of decluttering decisions. I'll bet. Yeah, I'm in a 4,000 square foot home now, Wendy, and I just want to get rid of a lot of stuff. I was happy, Rick says, moving from a 3-story house into a 1-bedroom apartment 7 months ago. Thought it was going to be hard, but it's great. Yeah, I miss like when I go on retreats or prayer retreats and that type of thing, where you go into your room, you have a bed, a kneeler, a cross on the wall, and, a sink. I love that. Brandon, prayers for all here present, especially the host. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I'm not sure I could get rid of that much stuff. Got to start small. Today's your oldest birthday. She's struggling with depression. Prayers for her, Kristen. Absolutely. Yeah, decluttering helps emotionally in other areas of your life. Absolutely. Lots of studies about that. Prayers for everybody's intentions, since Maria was hospitaled 4 times this year. Praise for her recovery and her recovery from mental health. Absolutely. Hey, Vicky! What are you doing up so late from Australia? So good to see you. Prayers for a private intention for Dorothy Louise. Prayers for Carla Golatti's, Armesto, her mom today. Let me pop over to my other prayer request. Oops. I had it up and then I closed it when I went to Google something. Darn. Please hold. Of course, we can pray for Evie. Always. And we'll keep posted on... Oh, Janet. Beautiful rolling beauty cart. Love it. All right, let me go down to the prayer requests. Here we go. For LW's preemie twins. Against Pam says today's surgery day, praying for her daughter Evie and her son John Michael, who's the one donating the kidney, praying for the medical team that they'll be operating on and caring for her babies, praying for family members caring for her kiddos in her place, because of course she's sick and she can't be there, and especially for Pam's mom, who makes all... I won't say that. Sarah, continued prayers for her son Kyle, for LL, conversion of her family, for ET, for her children, and for everyone, for JC, that she can find the tuition money to return to school in 10 days. Ooh. For MT, that I start to feel that I can make goals. Sorry. I'm crushed that Pam can't be with her daughter today for her kidney replacement. I had my son in surgery. He had a brain tumor growing up, and it was a recurrent brain tumor that came back when he was in 7 surgeries. And just being able to be there. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm so emotional about that. It's just being able to be there when your child is being operated on, even though, you can't be in the operating room, which of course I wanted to be, but they wouldn't let me be in there. I got to control something, but not even being able to be, there for that event is just crushing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, great way to eat the elephant, one bite at a time, doing a little bit 5 by 5 by 5, says Lori. Lily, for the homeless, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere this time of year, it's very cold. Prayers for Mavie. I'm sorry, I can't barely see. Chronic Lyme. Oh, it's horrible. Her meds aren't doing any good. Jocelyn, for her children, especially her oldest daughter and granddaughter, for homeschooling situation in Alberta, Canada. Court date's January 5th. I didn't realize that. I hadn't seen that. Prayers for Sister Mimi. Very helpful information, said Rose. Unconsciously, lost the comment. For a few weeks now. Hey, good for you. You got a head start. Oh, sorry. Physical space or headspace. Yeah, because they're directly connected, Vicky. Yeah. Prayers for the conversion of nephew, financial need. Prayers for Chelsea. We all feel like we're failing as a mom. That's part of being a mom. We all feel like a failure. You're not alone, and you're doing your best, I'm sure. Maria, sending love to those who are struggling right now, says Vicky. Absolutely. Victoria, prayer for our priests and our pastors. Teresa was healed from Lyme with herbs, so I'm sure the two of you can get together. All right, so I'm so sorry. I have to go redo my makeup because now I'm going to pop over and do this on Periscope. Maybe I'll just do it this afternoon because I have to get this green screen set up. Maybe now would be a good time. So thank you so much for being here. We've got new things going on with, sponsorships and interviews, and we wanted to start them this week, and then it's just the week between Christmas and New Year, and I thought I'd start just with the whole New Year thing next week. So I got a couple of authors that I have scheduled to interview and coming up, and some people that can't come live in the morning because they're in Australia. So I'll be recording those, but then I'll be able to show the recording. Well, we'll be here live, and then I'll show you the recording of the interview, and then we can do always follow-up questions with them. But being able to use Skype to touch base and be with people from all over the world is always such a great blessing. So thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope these ideas helped you. And just remember that we are live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock in London, and midnight in Melbourne, Australia. I should change that to Perth because it's earlier, I think, in Perth. But we will be back again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. And thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your continued support, and have a very blessed day and a glorious day. Go hug your family and get rid of 5 things today. All right. Take care. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye now.